Hi, everybody. We are removed from his barracks room there on Fort Bliss and taken down to the basement room, which is the arms room, a soundproof room. His life was taken from him, and his body was stolen off of Fort Bliss, a incredibly bold move, considering the security, which indicates, and we know that the director of emergency services was in on this, and the command was in on this, and that the video and audio were removed and destroyed under orders. So his body, our son's body, was removed from stolen, really stolen off of Fort Bliss and desecrated. Evidence indicates his organs were harvested, he was dismembered, and he was trafficked to Juarez, Mexico, across the border. This makes this an international murder case, and that all evidence indicates that his partial remains are at Plenitude Crematorium. That's where they were dumped at. The people that own that place live in El Paso. The purchase Arellano Corone family, and have vast amounts of influence and businesses, um, uh, and even media, the city magazine influence in El Paso. Um, so here we are today on 2089, and it is so busy. I'm so glad that I could come on a little bit earlier, even though I'm going to be burning the midnight oil, because there's so much to do because of the lawsuits, and our own epic lawsuit. Today was huge. We um, That's breaking news, and I'm trying to figure out how I can present it to you in the best way for everyone to understand how important this lawsuit is that was just filed by a law enforcement veteran in El Paso. And it's just a huge lawsuit, 15 million, maybe more, maybe more. Um, and what this lawsuit does is it names Richard multiple times, a few times, and absolutely corroborates everything that we've been saying, and then adds more. And that's why this is so important. This gives us insight to the El Paso law enforcement community and what was going on behind the scenes, and names, lots of names, right? And gives a pattern that we know in our son's case exists, and now this corroborates the pattern of corruption in El Paso, of obstruction of justice, of leaking files, of tampering with files. And we know, like the 2028 stamp for Montoya, that he's not worried about at all. He's not worried about all of the offenses that he has committed, which are many, which are really deserving the highest penalty, because he said the system is rigged. It's all rigged because the likes of Jared Brown over there, the SAC of the El Paso FBI field office, with Connell Wetton, the assistant special agent in charge, has got his back. Got his back. And this is the Mormon faction. Okay, this is the Mormon faction I've been talking about. And we just right before we got on, We received breaking news about well, I did receive it yesterday. One of the followers alerted me that there were not two CIA agents at down there in Chihuahua that were killed, but that there were four present. Two were killed, but two more were involved in this drone operation. Okay, this rogue drone operation. Now, what really alerted us is that these CIA agents did not work with the Mexican federal counterparts. That's not what happened. They were working with Maru Campos, right? They were working for the governor, with the governor and the AG, Cesar Haragi, of Chihuahua, the state officials. This is not their counterpart. What the hell is going on? And now the Mexican Senate has summoned Maru Campos with Cesar Haragi Moreno down to Mexico City, to the Senate, to ask them what the hell is going on. What are you doing with these CIA agents from the United States, right? American CIA agents. And we have long been telling everybody that there is a rogue group that has inserted itself into the CIA, that has inserted itself into the FBI, that has inserted itself into the El Paso intelligence community, and they're up to no good. And they have inserted themselves onto Fort Bliss, and they're up to no good. They've inserted themselves into the El Paso justice system and into the law enforcement system. And this huge federal case now that was filed. And it moved forward today, right? Against Tommy Cano, against uh, Sylvia Brun de Firth. It had a long list of names, and I should really put them up, but and I will put them up because it's really, I probably have it on my phone here, and I can tell everybody what those names are because it's so interesting to know uh, who has been up to no good, right? Who has been up to no good? Oh, Greg Abbott. Oh, who's that? That's the governor of Texas. Haven't we said that he was infiltrated? And who was he infiltrated by? Maru Campos. Remember, he got into an agreement with her, a border agreement with her. What the heck is a governor doing, making border agreements with Maru Campos? I think that's for the federal government to do, right? So, yeah, that was really illegal. And then, of course, Ken Paxton is mentioned in this lawsuit. And Delia Briones does all the death certificates, right? And we know that there has been fraud with the bodies, with the funeral homes, and all of that fraud giving uh, what it pulverized construction material in urns, which is heartbreaking. You just have to take a pause, right? It's just so heartbreaking to families. Well, that requires tampered death certificates, right? And we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of tampered death certificates. And then, identity theft, there has to be identity theft, and then, um, you know, recycling and being a flesh peddler. And that's what, Rafael Arellano Caron and his brother, Jose Luis Arellano Caron, and the mother, Rosa Maria Purchase Arellano Caron, what they were doing. What they were doing. Um, And then, of course, Yvonne Rosales is on here because she is really the DA. She is the lawful under the Texas Constitution, because of the 2028 stamp from Montoya and because of the lack um, of uh, Bill Hicks um, installing properly. He didn't install properly at all, and that is all documented. So it goes back to the one that was properly installed, and that is Rosales. But she's not doing her job. She's not doing her job. So that is no surprise to me that she's listed here because she's derelict. She's absolutely derelict. And we have given her, like, please put your heels on, get your backbone going, and assert yourself as the district attorney for the 34th Judicial District because that's who you are. You are the DA, the rightful DA. But, she's, it's just, yeah, she's derelict. The State Commission on Judicial Conduct, well, we know that. We know that there is up to no good in that commission that's supposed to be the oversight of these rogue and unlawful judges, right? These unlawful judges and the actions of these unlawful judges, like Sam Madrano, who clearly, and we can list a whole lot, like Marlene Gonzalez, right? That protect these bad judges that do, well, I like to just say that they're up to no good. Um, and so Jacqueline Habersham, well, she's part of that. And she's a protection racket. So of course, and we know all these names because we've been filing for years. Sylvia Brunda Firth, she sits on the commission. She's up to no good. She's the one that covers up for these bad judges. Cody Carter, he was in charge. He's the DPS officer that was in charge of the Julio Cordero case. Okay, and he's up to no good. Okay, he's up to no good. Gustavo Sanchez. Well, we know Gustavo Sanchez. He's the other Texas Ranger that's up to no good, and he was assigned to our case and up to no good. And he has family ties to Nadal Baim, the terrorist threat guy, the Palestinian arms dealer that is the father-in-law to Lieutenant Colonel Bradford Bugado in the G3 of the 32nd ADCOM, our son's chain of command. So, yeah, that's, or, command structure there. Juan Torres, of course, that's JT, right? That's JT. That's the guy that was in charge of the Walmart mass shooting. And he left. He had kind of a breakdown and he was led away, and then went down to Central Mexico, Central America. He's in Central America right now. And he's the one that absolutely confirmed that the Walmart mass shooting crime scene was staged. Okay. So James Bonneau, Mr. 2028 Montoya. He is just so rotten, y'all. And being up to no good is just, gosh, we're being too kind to him because he's just so bad. He's just such a fake and a fraud and causing so much trouble and obstruction of justice in El Paso. John Briggs, same thing. He works in the DA's office, and oh my gosh, he is always colluding and with his wife, Amy Montes Valles. I hope I say her name right, but she's up to no good too. And we, filed. Angel Lopez. Yeah, they don't like to mention him because he has a lot to say when it comes to the Julio Cordero and the poison pawns. Um, so Bernadette Madrano, that's the wife of Judge Sam Madrano. She works in the clerk's office where they dial, they say dial, but it's really computer, to put judges on certain cases. And they were rigging that. They were rigging that. And so all evidence indicates she was part of that rigging. So this will be really important for us when they do this investigation on the. This is such a great day to have this kind of federal lawsuit because we need to explore, right? We need to explore what these people have been up to, and this will open the door for that exploratory investigations. So then we have Christina Sanchez, the county attorney that she keeps Montoya out of trouble, I guess, unlawfully. And Humberto Acosta, he's the judge. He's the head judge of the El Paso community. I mean, the El Paso magistrate court. Okay. He's supposed to be elected. He's not. So he's not even a judge. Okay. Legally, constitutionally speaking, he's not even a judge. So, anybody that's on that court, because it has full countywide jurisdiction, and since 2015, um, it's had that full countywide jurisdiction. And because of that, under the Texas Constitution, all judges need to be elected by the people because, it's too much power. The people have to have a say so over that kind of power. And that hasn't happened. These are just appointed and it's unlawful. And he's one of them. Bill Hicks. I don't have to say much more about Bill Hicks. I called him the usurper for a long time. He's the one that, hey, can you help me over there at the Secretary of State? Um, for with Greg Abbott, right? Greg Abbott, Secretary of State, and yeah, so they covered for him, and that's why I think Greg Abbott is on this lawsuit. And Luis Rene Diaz, he's cartel. He's cartel, and he was picked to be Bill Hicks's, oh, what do you call it? But in the DA's office, and up to no good. Can you imagine picking cartel to be in the DA's office? How is that going to work out for justice? I don't think too well. I don't think too well. Javier Moreno and Justin Underwood and Michael Gonzalez. Oh, the little snake. He's such a snake with Amber Chase, Michael Gonzalez. And Michael Mayella and his son, Michael Gianni Mayella, the Crucius family, the Crucius, the Walmart shooter family, and then Tommy Cano. And I don't know if Tommy Cano is Cano still. You think Cano is Cano still? I know that his family's in the funeral home business too, in the insurance business, and he's with Sylvia Brunda Firth, up to no good. Um, and this is just a beautiful thing to have this lawsuit that we can do some discovery. And because our son's name is mentioned several times, Tommy Cano is from Anthony. Anthony is the last place our son's identity was used way after his death. Um, so how does he use his identity? Do ghosts use identity? Um, yeah, so this is an exciting day to have this kind of lawsuit. It's going to give us a lot of information, but we're not going to wait for that. Even though we're not going to wait for our lawsuit. Let's just say that our epic lawsuit is coming, and nothing's holding us back. And it's just epic. It's huge. It's epic. And it's just incredible how the epic fury and the epic boat and the epic lawsuit and now the epic El Paso intelligence community. There's like a theme here of epic, right? Maybe God is saying, pointing to, you know, epic, 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 to give us a hint on where to look and to to stop this cartel and this pipeline. And the cartels are part of this pipeline. They're not totally the pipeline. The pipeline goes to Iran, and Iran is, in my opinion, totally controlled by China. There's so much indication of that because of the fuel, because of wanting to sell their fuel in yuan. Why would they want to do that? Why not in rubles, right? Why not in their own currency to strengthen their own currency? No, they want to sell it in renminbi, the Chinese yuan. So that means that someone is ruling over them, and I think they are a captured country. And I think this is why President Trump absolutely knows this, and that we heard it on the radio with the ship. It wasn't a Persian voice that we heard making threats to navy, to me and to many others. It sounded, more Chinese than Persian. And but President Trump knows best, and I think that he said before this whole um, uh, operation that he said to Iranians, we're coming. Help is coming. Help is coming. And so that's why I think this is so touchy, because it is absolutely connected to China, and we know that the whole pipeline is connected to China. We know that Lalani Hart speaks Chinese, and I should say a Chinese faction, because I don't want to lump all Chinese together. This is a Chinese faction that are up to no good, just like this CIA faction that's up to no good, and like this Mormon faction that's up to no good. So, and like, this philanthropist narco faction in El Paso that's absolutely up to no good. With resources, y'all, billions of dollars of resources and influence, working under Greg Abbott, working under Maru Campos, which gets to the major news again. The CIA, these CIA agents working with Maru Campos, which Maru Campos, if you just do a little bit of research, you absolutely know that she's cartel, that she operates a narco state of Chihuahua right on the border of our United States. And so the CIA know this. If I know this, if many other people know this, and the CIA knows this. So what in the heck is a CIA agent, unless they're dirty CIA agents, unless they're rogue CIA agents, unless they're trying to cause trouble, and kind of like the Walmart mass shooting, orchestrated and bloody, very bloody, and the crime scene to be staged so that they could, cover up the ballistics and the forensics of the whole thing. Um, because there were multiple shooters, right? We know that there were multiple shooters. Um, you know, to us, this is another, like Walmart mass shooting. Something is going on, that they are trying to do different operations in Mexico, and these CIA agents, if they are rogue, if they are mutinous, right? If they are mutinous and they are working with a narco governor, right? A narco governor involved in, and we know she's Sinaloa. We know she's Sinaloa. We know that they are in cahoots with the, uh, Juarez cartel. And well, these factions might be fighting each other, and maybe La Linea, right, which is the Nova Casa Grandes, which is the Mormon colony area, part of the cartel. Maybe, maybe they're colluding together. Maybe, so this needs to be investigated because it's clear something is no good, and Mexico is going to take advantage of this, right? Mexico is going to take advantage of this and say, what is the federal CIA agents doing, colluding and doing operations with a narco state governor, you know? So this is, all eyes on the border, all eyes on the border, because this is very serious. And so this is really a great time to file a lawsuit to clarify and to get discovery, right? To get discovery in this lawsuit from the law enforcement veteran, right? I hope he gets a lot of discovery and he gets absolutely victory in this. We totally support him. And then of course our lawsuit, but we're not alone. Even the two lawsuits, because we've had Roy Davis's lawsuit that's out there against Judge Marlene Gonzalez, which Sylvia Brundefer, the Commission on Judicial Conduct, has protected. This, judge that's up to no good, that is absolutely connected, related to Marlon Soto Hernandez, the lead CID investigator in our son's case. So that lawsuit is very important to us also. Clearly it is. And there's, of course, we are party to, and I think it's over with now. I have to ask my husband, but the SB4, but it was really important, the SB4 case, because it had to do with border security. And of course, uh, you know, the lacks thereof of Bill Hicks just allowing the border to be wide open. So, yeah, so this is, we've been padding the files. So everyone in that we can think of knows about Richard Halliday's case, and all those that have been up to no good. And now the courts are being padded. Thank God, it's all that. Thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to those brave people that have filed these lawsuits, because um, it is um, time consuming and takes courage to do it. So I'm, very, very grateful for them. And we're next. We're next. We're coming. Do not doubt that we are coming. We've been working very hard on it, and it's epic. There's no other case like our case, with all of the 15 plus agencies and the military being involved, and the retaliation against Richard, and the murder and the cover up and everything, all the retaliation our family has endured through this whole thing. There's just, I don't know any other case like this. And we're researching all of it, right? We're researching all of it because we were told to investigate. And don't forget that when Richard went missing and we called, because they were derelict in even notifying us, they took Richard off the roll. They took Richard off the roll to put us in jurisdictional limbo land, right? They didn't want us to get any help at all. They didn't want us in any jurisdiction at all. And it was because of you. It was because we went on social media and people were interested, and people did not believe the false narratives that they were putting out about Richard. And they were sharing this case. Of course, they had a huge indication because of what happened to Vanessa Guillen, right? They were like, oh my gosh, what are they doing with Vanessa Guillen's case? And so they were absolutely alerted to the fraud that was going on and the retaliation going on. And so it was because of you sharing, and letting everyone know about Richard that the U.S. Army went, whoa, whoa, okay, we got to control this. We got to control this investigation, this public investigation. It's kind of like what Candace Owens is doing with the Charlie Kirk case, right? And they wanted to control it, and so they put Richard back on the rolls, and they knew all along that he had been killed, okay, because of the seal on the door of the arms room, because of the positive hits with the canine, because of the unlawful orders to renovate the arms room with no expense spared, and no really bids for protocol, just get someone to do it. Um, they knew that they were covering up for this terrible crime, and so yeah, Richard was, and then they tried to just divert this whole investigation, um, so it's been slow going because of all of the retaliation and diversions that we have gotten, the lies and lies that we've had to dig through and confirm that they were lies. So that has slowed down justice for Richard's case, and it is really a violation of our rights, really, and of our country. So our case is absolutely coming. It's epic. And we really just appreciate everyone sharing because we've come this far. We don't want to let you down. You've got us this far. You got Richard back on the rolls. You supported our a day in, day out, years long investigation, and shared, and prayed for us, and shared so much love with us that we can't let you down. And we're going to, absolutely um, do whatever we can to make this the most epic lawsuit, um, and to secure our border, secure our military, restrain all the evil. You can never totally get rid of evil. Only Christ can do that. Only God can do that. But we can restrain it, and we can absolutely demand justice. And so, and we want our son's remains. We want our son's remains. So this is everything that's happening over in Chihuahua right now, in Mexico right now, and El Paso with the lawsuits. Um, they have, it's all in our favor. I can tell you that right now. So I'm very upbeat. As you can see, I'm very upbeat. Here it is. Well, it's midnight now. Normally, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and um but yeah, so we are absolutely um grateful that all this is in our favor and that we can move forward. Is it emotional? 100%. 100%. This has been hell. Absolute hell. And we want our son's remains, and we want to have these people that did this to be held accountable, because what they did to Richard was absolutely an act of war. And and there's a lot of people that know what I'm saying is absolutely right, because they and their families have also suffered at the hands of these very evil people. So thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. Thank you, Laura, for coming on. Thank you for your prayer. Thank you for your love. And please share. And I will be back tomorrow. More breaking news tomorrow. God bless you. And I'll see